Let us quickly look at Nigerian political landscape, sequel to what is happening in the north. Of course, the position of northern leaders currently, and the backlash that is following their opinion and their moves against Senator Bola Tinubu. It seems as if northern leaders are not finding this even among their people, because we clearly saw what happened in Kaduna when the former governor, talking about El-Rufai, wanted to have a rally. Of course, the hall was overrun by some hoodlums who were believed to be thugs. And whether we like it or not, El-Rufai himself already accused the governor, the incumbent governor, of orchestrating it. Talking about the incumbent governor of Kaduna State. We understand that definitely El-Rufai was the one that made that the man governor, but the man currently is loyal to the president. Talking about Senator Bola Tinubu. So in what looked like a big loss to El-Rufai himself, his whole state, his governor is against him, working for someone else who is his opponent. And we equally saw another big setback for the another figure who is equally working against Tinubu, talking about Malami, the former governor, the former Attorney General of the Federation, who of course ran into attack by his own people as well, talking about thugs. But in all of this, accusing finger is already pointing at the handlers and the government of the day, because even Atiku himself have even raised his voice, claiming that the hand of the government is involved in all of this. But I think one thing is certain, that those northern figures, like El-Rufai, like Malami, even Atiku himself, have not been able to consolidate power in their respective states. So is it because of the strategic nature, or because is it the reason they even call Tinubu the master strategist? Because if you look at almost all the notable figures who are rising against Tinubu, their whole states, they are facing issues. Even an Atiku, who is of ages currently, who is home governor, who is home state governor, is not even an APC, is even fighting the Atiku. Because even recently, we saw Governor Finteri's government stripping Atiku of his title, talking about Waziri Adamawa, of course the most prestigious title in that state, apart from the traditional ruler. But seeing the governor stripping him of that title speak volume of what is happening. Perhaps maybe the president may have a way to influence that governor in doing that, because there's no better way to explain. So there's no better way to explain this. If the governor of Adamawa can strip Atiku of his title, it means it has some political undertone. And if you take your attention back to Kaduna State, you can see the disparity with which the incumbent governor of that state, who is supposed to be a godson of El-Rufai, is fighting El-Rufai and is supporting Tinubu. So the question is, in all of this, how can they, in honesty, be able to move their people to work against the government if they are not able to even control those who they are anointed to occupy positions? Because even in the last election of 2023, someone like Atiku's influence played pivotal role in Ahmadu Fintiri winning Adamawa election. Now, seeing Ahmadu Fintiri fighting Atiku, I think it speaks volume of why they call Tinubu a master strategist. But in all of this, even all the opposition political parties have not been able to get their feet for the purpose of the 2027 presidential election. Because it stands, it's not clear whether PDP will feed in any candidates, or even if they decide to feed candidates, whether they will feed a viable candidate who can challenge Tinubu at the poll. As to have it, we have seen the likes of Sheikh Makinde, who is saying that he wants to contest. And of course, we understand that he's eligible to contest, no doubt about that. But considering the caliber of persons who will be contesting the election. Talking about the likes of Atiku, the likes of P2B, the likes of Tinubu. Because with that sentiment, those that command large followership in Nigeria currently is Tinubu himself, Atiku, and P2B. So the question is, if you don't hand over ticket of PDP to Sheyi Makinde, how will he garner the vote in the general election? We understand that as a governor, they control the machinery of the state, the structure. So it will be easier for him to win as a candidate of the party. But when it comes to the general election, he's not that popular to even win. So the question is, if they now hand over the ticket to someone like Sheyi Makinde, for me, a Tinubu will go to sleep because it is as if he's not having any opposition. The same thing is applicable to if they hand over ADC candidacy to someone like Amici. Of course, it's very clear that a Tinubu will not even need to campaign. He will just have an easy ride back to Aso Rock in 2027. But the question now is, with the strategic nature of Wike in PDP, will PDP be able to have candidates, or even if they have, will they be able to have a viable candidate? Because Wike made it very clear before now that for the purpose of 2027, that is going to work for his master, Senator Abba Bola Tinubu, of course, the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if that is the case, where is the hope of PDP getting out of the present quagmire? Even the ADC, as we speak, we have a situation where you have some people that call themselves unresigned ESCO members who are laying claim to the leadership of the party, who have even threatened to go to court to challenge David Mark-led ESCO. That David Mark-led ESCO is not the authentic ESCO. So the question is, ADC may stand the risk of losing after having a candidate for the election of 2027. Because the situation of Zamfara State that happened to APC in the past may befall ADC. A situation where after APC candidate, governorship candidate won election in Zamfara State, a case went to court, and court decided that the fashion of APC that gave the candidate the mandate is not authentic candidate, is not legitimate candidate. Sorry, it's not legitimate fashion of the ESCO. As such, the court nullified the election and gave the mandate to PDP candidate, who of course came second in the election. So now that we have leadership crisis in ADC, are we not likely going to see a similar situation? And if you even take attention to Labour Party, the leadership crisis in Labour Party is even more pronounced, because even Julius Abure have been asked by a court of competent jurisdiction to stop parading himself as the national chairman of the party. So the question is, if Abure let ESCO hand over ticket to any candidate, let's say Obi, what is guarantee that the situation of Zamfara State will not befall Labour Party? That court will not sack the candidates at the nick of time and as declare that Labour Party do not have candidates. So I think in all of this, all the opposition political parties, if they are serious, they must resolve all the litigation surrounding the leadership of the parties before the proper election setting.